1 out of 5 stars. A trip to Hooters used to mean more than just chicken wings. It also meant a little scenery, if you catch my drift. I'd tell my wife I was going for the lunch specials, but we both knew I was there for the ambience. But now, my wife just Uber Eats it straight to the house. I don't even like the food. I was in it for the views. Please get rid of Uber Eat. 1 out of 5 stars. Lisa, the girl who answers the phones of this takeaway, Katie, likes to sleep with married men behind their wives' back. Do not order from here if you want your husband to sleep with other women. She's 19, my husband is 45. Says a lot, doesn't it? She can't find men her own age, so has to find older men who are married. Food is awful as well. Never liked the food. Been coming for years, but won't be coming here again. Now this will be going to Panda Hut from now on. This girl needs to be sacked. No professionalism and flirts with men on the phones all day. Would give 0 stars if I could. Apologies for the issue. Please come to our store and claim a free apple crumble. Apologies again. Kindly show this message to the staff. That is wild. Where do you begin on this one? 2 out of 5 stars. Had a bad experience today. My family has donated approximately 450 books to the library. Today I took the last of the books to them. I called and notified them I was coming and went inside when I got there. There was no offer made of help. I made 2 trips. They gave me a cart. During the first trip, I fell near a sewer and approximately 5 to 10 books fell down the sewer. Nearby people came, helped me, and we got the remaining books into the library. For the second trip, I demanded help, which I got, and there were no problems. The library employee should offer help on all donations. No more donations for them. Jesus Christ, some people really just have nothing actually important to complain about, do they? Oh no, I dropped books in the sewer. How the did you do that? How did you actually do that? I don't know. Something smells a little funny here. I think you just wanted to complain. 2 out of 5 stars. Brother, please. Absolutely not. Tastes like what it looks like. Booty fart leftovers. Like my 7-year-old made a mud pie out of dirt and cardboard. I felt like I was being gaslit by the word cookie. The audacity. Ugh. Never again. I felt bad leaving 1 star, so you get 2 for the sheer audacity approving for this for public use. Peas. Love the protein powder, but this protein bar is sus of attempted strangulation. What are you talking about? 1 out of 5 stars. This place was tragic. First, I was made to walk to the ATM to get cash for, quote, video head cleaner because they didn't want to take $24 for a $25 item. Well, yeah, if something costs $25, you fucking idiot. After going through the hassle of spending so much money there already, the owner wouldn't let $1 go. Not going back there again. We are a retail business. If I feel insane. It's if you go to the store and something says $10 and you give them 5, I don't think you're gonna take it because that's not 10, is it? 1 out of 5 stars. The place was absolutely disgusting. It smelled so bad, and everything was overpriced. That's a waste of money. I would rather go to Petco or anything else rather than to spend almost $100 on pet food just for the week. I don't recommend it at all. And they even have a worker there who's looking like a child. She looks too young, and she has a beautiful personality, but the things I have trouble with the most is how they are having a teenager working for them when they should be hiring adults, not teenagers, to do their work for them. Honestly, it feels like they're just using the young lady, so I think that she needs a break from them to get an actual job who will treat her well and not a pet store who will probably just make her do everything, and besides, it stinks and everything's so expensive. You are describing an employee like she works there. You're pretending like she's being forced to work. No, she probably applied and works there, and you are reading way too deep into a stranger you're never going to see again. Anyways, response from the owner. Hi there, I'm sorry you had a bad experience at our store. Our animal habitats are deep cleaned daily. However, all animals produce odor. They will also produce odor in your home. Our prices are slightly higher than chain stores because we pay more for our items as a small business. However, they are very competitive. As for your rude comments and discrimination towards our adult worker who works part-time, she is well paid and happy here. You should never assume things about people. Body shaming and discrimination towards staff will not be tolerated. 1 out of 5 stars. Literally just tried to call and make an appointment, and the person who answered the phone was extremely unpleasant and disrespectful. I asked him a question and he hung up in my face and then made threats towards me. After he hung up, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. We hung up because you were being very rude and impatient that we cannot tattoo you right that minute. Continued hostile phone calls will be reported to the authorities. If we could rate you as a customer, we would give you 0 stars. 1 out of 5 stars, not impressed. The staff is young. I didn't realize they had crystal boba and asked for 1 pearl, and they wouldn't allow me to try it. The tea there is mediocre. There's too many boba places around to waste your time on a place that has to be weird with you. Sylvia, normally I would sincerely reply to you pleading to come back and give us another chance, but not today. Let me give you some facts. I use very expensive, award-winning teas from Art of Tea, which you will find only at one of the other local boba chains. I come in 7 days per week to personally make sure teas are brewed at proper temperatures, today included. I taste all the teas, and they were excellent as always today. Your assertion that our teas are mediocre is false. You simply have no taste. You complain that my staff is young. You are correct. And every one of them is a 10 out of 10 from an employment standpoint. I can only assume from your baseless complaining that you're most likely a mediocre worker. You didn't realize we had crystal boba? Well, it's right there on the menu, under boba, alphabetized too. And yes, you can't try our boba. Can you walk into a McDonald's and ask for a single French fry for free? No! Please never come back. Messed up our booking. 2 out of 5 circles. It is difficult to review this hotel as I didn't actually stay there. Okay, then why are you reviewing it? But anyone booking through Hostel World website should be wary, as we did book it and got a confirmation, but when arrived at the hotel, for whatever reason, they hadn't recorded our booking and were full. In fairness to them, they tried to rectify the situation by booking us a room in another hotel nearby and offering to pay for it. That's very nice of them, but the new hotel was rather weird, looked insecure, and needed cleaning. We opted to move to another hotel, and you're such a fucking moron. You are such, oh no, we got offered a free hotel room by our hotel that fucked up. Yeah, I just didn't want it because it looked, I just didn't look, dude, shut the fuck up. You were offered a free room? A free room? Like, I don't give a fuck what's it. Okay, well, I'll be a little upset if I see like bed bugs or, you know, like blood stains or what sure, I get it. That's understandable, but oh no, it's a little insecure looking. Like, shut the fuck up. 5 stars. All right. My only complaint is that we were celebrating my wife's birthday, and while you did light a candle, I was really expecting the dessert to be a gift. Just a bit disappointed. Otherwise, fantastic food and ambience. 9 out of 10. Well, why did you expect that? You're at a restaurant. You pay for the food you eat. 1 out of 5 stars. Why do you call the Egyptian section an African origins? The history of a country should not be attributed to an entire continent. Oh my god, you're a moron. We have no review here, or no rating here. I am a pescatarian? The only meat I eat is fish. I didn't know that was a thing. Therefore, your only current entree I can eat is the honey walnut shrimp, which I dislike. The breading is too thick and it is cloyingly sweet. The only other menu item currently available with the shrimp also has steak, which obviously I do not eat. So I just bought super greens. I would suggest that you always offer Impossible Orange Chicken and replace the honey walnut shrimp with a different shrimp entree, such as your sizzling shrimp. If you had trouble selling your previous shrimp entrees because they were too spicy for most people, you could use fewer chilies. I live close to a Panda Express, but I have to drive a very long way for good Asian food when your restaurant only offers menu items that I won't eat. It would be much more convenient for me if I could eat at your restaurant. It sounds like it would be much more convenient if you just bought your own food and made it because you have a very particular appetite. 1 out of 5 stars. Because of flight delays, we missed our paid-for appointed ticket time, and the museum was unwilling to help us. Didn't go and refused a refund. We cannot be the first people to have this happen to them. So you had a flight delay. That's a problem with your airline, and you are blaming it on the museum. Right. 1 out of 5 stars. Really disappointed. Wanted to surprise my boyfriend for his birthday. Had my tickets for 9:30. Got there maybe 15 minutes early thinking we could get some fudge and looked around. Gates were closed, left 2 voicemail messages, waited, not even a call back. There's signs for for goat cheese and fudge. Where are the hours posted? Thanks for taking my money. Karen, we have several places, including the ticketing site, the website, the actual ticket you were holding, and emails prior to class clearly stating that gates open at 9:30. We've been doing this for 8 years and have never once had anyone say they had an issue with the gates not being open in time for the start of class. In fact, we checked our missed calls and it shows that you called us at 8:53 a.m. from the gate. However, you did not leave any voicemails, contrary to your review. So you arrived at 35 minutes, not 15 minutes as you wrote, before opening, somehow expecting the property to be open, then wrote this poor review because you left before opening time? How would this be different from showing up to any event, restaurant, or any other place before they open and just expecting you would be allowed in, then leaving and writing a negative review without even sticking around until the opening time? Even Google, where you left this review, states that we open at 9:30 a.m. on Saturdays. This is our home, not a business. We operate Grady Goat Yoga as a non-profit raising money for children's charities and our goat sanctuary. We reached out to you in an attempt to help make this right. We left you a voicemail, we sent you an email, and messaged you on Facebook, but clearly you were not interested in being an adult about this. Karen, I know you are not going to remove this false review because it sounds like this is just the way you are. We had a great sold-out class that day, and everyone else entered after you left, which was before 9:30 a.m., and had a great time. You stated that you were hoping to arrive early to walk around, etc., but there is nothing on your ticket or even the event description stating that this isn't even an option. It is not. Not only is this our home, it is a working farm that does not have the safety protocols in place to allow people to just walk around unsupervised. This is why we keep the gate closed until 9:30 a.m. You were not truthful about how when you arrived, and you were not truthful about leaving any voicemails. You didn't leave any. Have a great day, Karen. Gotta say, the name, it checks out. 1 out of 5 stars. I shopped at this store for my grandchildren and was so upset when they put all my purchases in a black trash bag. I will never shop there again. It's now been more than 8 months and I still feel the sting of the insult. I would regularly spend more than $400 on shopping trips. That sounds incredibly wasteful. I just don't understand why this store would mistreat customers in this way. Because they put your shit in a bag? Like, are we being serial right now? How old are you? Like, are you f***ing 12? 1 out of 5 stars. As someone who grew up coming here, I honestly expected more cultural humility and respect. To see that non-Hawaiian people were singing and dancing to indigenous and native songs isn't right. Please next time make sure to respect people's cultures. These are people's identities, and when other people take it as their own or sing, it is rude and inhumane. This is cultural appropriation. Please address this so other may feel called to come again and feel heard and seen. How much you want to bet these people are Hawaiian and they're just racist or stupid? Or both, they go hand in hand. 1 out of 5 stars, 3 minutes left before closing and they turned away 2 big families. Thank you for your feedback. Serving large groups 3 minutes before closing, especially with our time-intensive handmade rolled ice cream, would require our team to stay significantly past their shifts, impacting both payroll and their personal schedules. Just like at any food establishment, arriving so close to closing can create challenges. We appreciate your understanding and hope to serve you earlier next time. It's really not that difficult, right? Oh, let's go to this restaurant or ice cream place, whatever. Let's show up 3 minutes before closing. Oh no, they're out or they're about to close. Oh, and then you leave a review. It's like, dude, just fucking grow up and wait another day or something. I don't know, man. It's really, you're not gonna die. It's not that drastic. Sorry, bad karma. 1 out of 5 circles. On Monday, January 13th, 2025, I made a reservation for 3 nights for January 17th through the 20th. On Thursday, January 16th, I called to inquire if the Carter Estate has an on-site venue, restaurant, lounge, or bar that serves dinner. After many minutes, the on-hold recording offered me the option of leaving a voicemail, which I elected not to do. I later called back and spoke to a friendly, helpful person who confirmed there is no venue for dinner at the Carter Estate. I then stated that I was 100% at fault for not noticing that before I made the reservation. She helpfully offered to transfer our reservation to Carter's Related Properties South Coast Winery, which is located close to Carter and which has dinner options. We thought about all this, and then, in a later call, I informed the same helpful Carter Estate person that we would like to cancel the Carter reservation and decline the transfer to South Coast. She apologized and reminded me that the policy states that we must forfeit the first night's charge, which was roughly $350. She also helpfully told me she had asked if the charge could be waived, but that the Carter Estate declined to do so. Thus, we paid $350 to not use a hotel room that we booked on Monday and attempted to cancel 72 hours later when we realized the Carter Estate did not offer dinner or a bar or lounge. Again, this was completely my fault for not realizing this before I made the reservation. Still, it seems that a good karma move by the Carter Estate would have been to offer a one-time accommodation and forego the first night penalty of $350. This time of the year, with night temperatures in the 30s and day highs in the 50s, presumably is not a busy time, and thus I would be surprised if we deprived the resort of revenue by canceling. Indeed, the website shows plenty of available rooms. In any event, I regret having to write this review, but I felt the need to suggest that a better business practice may be to offer reasonable flexibility with regard to a policy that costs a potential customer $350 for the sake of enforcing a policy. It just doesn't feel fair, sorry. Dude, this is not a 1-star review. Like, I get it, it sucks you had to pay $350. That blows, man. But how can you, after realizing, oh, I made a mistake, I misread something, this does not come with what I thought it did. You recognize that, and I applaud you for that. That you get 2 points from me. That's great. You're so nice about the person who offered to try and get that $350 waive so you didn't have to pay it. You were nice about them. You understood. You're so understanding. But at the end of it all, you give it a 1-star review because, oh no, I got 1 out of 5 stars. He tricked my disabled husband into buying a $150 knife. The kitchen knives we brought were not sharpened. We had to take them elsewhere. That may be what your husband told you, but we don't trick anyone into buying anything. Most of the knives we sell are in that price range. If it is unused, you can always bring it back. The kitchen knives came straight from the factory. We don't control the manufacturer's grind. If they were not as sharp as you want, all you had to do is ask, and we would be happy to put an edge on them. Like anything else, you get what you pay for. 1 out of 5 stars. Never seen such rude persons in a store before. One of their salesmen is a total disgrace, shouting to customers. Hello, I don't think this is a fair review. You stepped behind the counter at a knife shop, Jesus Christ, you shouldn't do that anywhere, and grabbed a knife off the wall. Not only is that rude, but it's unsettling that when we ask you to stop, you continue to handle the knife. Yeah, you're out. You're kicked out of the store. You're never coming back again. 1 out of 5 stars. So sad, intolerant of different views. Truly an awful place to refresh and meditate. The place is polarizing, plain and simple. We are sorry you feel this way. You came into the studio wearing a shirt that said, "Make liberals cry again." We are a place of love. We don't care who anyone voted for, but are not okay with clothing that says you hope any group of people will cry. We are a place of kindness and stand by our choice to offer you a free shirt to wear. Can you imagine? You're the asshole. You're a total dickhead piece of shit. You just want to upset people around you. You go into an establishment, you're off-putting to the people who work there, and they offer you a different shirt so that you can stay and take part in what they're doing there, whatever, if it's meditation, cool. And then you decline that and then write a review because you're a fucking baby bitch who just wanted to piss people off. It's like, dude, you are insufferable. I can already tell. 1 out of 5 stars. I gave them 1 star because they didn't have a dining room, so we didn't eat here. Hey there, we're carry-out only, and I always have been since '96. It's listed on our website, Google, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Sorry you failed to look up the restaurant you chose to drive to, but leaving a 1-star review to punish a small business over that? That's wild. 1 out of 5 stars. Planetarium show is not ADHD friendly. If you fidget or struggle to sit still during the show, or you have an iPhone with the default lit screen, you will be harassed repeatedly by museum staff that seem to think audible ongoing harassment is less disruptive than leaving an individual quietly minding their business alone. Maybe have a sign that this feature is not neurodivergent friendly. Dude, you're in a planetarium. If you have troubles focusing on something, like it's like, do you go to the movies and you're like, oh man, I'm distracted, I gotta look at my phone while I'm watching this? Don't go to the fucking movies then. You're just wasting your own time, you're wasting your money, you're ruining the experience for other people because you're on your fucking phone in a dark room. Like, come on, man. 1 out of 5 stars. It's a nice place for touring, but the park rangers stinks. They're racist. They scream at me. It was so humiliating. It's okay for them to take care of the park, but screaming at people like if they're God, especially that short, bald-headed Mexican individual, I'm scared I never went back there. People, please be careful. 1 out of 5 circles. Worst room in our trip. My husband and I paid for a no-view room, which we assumed meant that we wouldn't get a view to the Parthenon. Okay, the room they gave us had a window in the corner facing the stairs, the only source of light in the room. There are no pictures of this on TripAdvisor to warn us of this terrible room. We asked for another room, but we were told there weren't any left. We were completely disappointed with this hotel. The location is great and the view from the rooftop is spectacular, but isn't worth staying in a corner without being able to open the drapes since you could find someone in the stairs. Oh no!